I actually forgot we had to do a press conference.
That can be kind of a fun thing.
I got so excited, had a shot, probably go home, take a nap.
Sleep it off.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here in the Media Center, the 2022 Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio. If you're on Zoom, please keep yourself on mute and comment in the chat function of the call, and we will call on you with questions once we open it up for questions. If you're in the room, step up to the mics, and we'll open it up for questions. You can ask Lydia here in the room. Lydia, the 2022 Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio champion. Congratulations. How does win number 17 feel?
Yeah, I think it was a hard-working day. I only had one birdie and one bogey on my front nine, so turning it even and knowing that Danielle has been playing great and she's probably going to play great, and so many of the girls that was playing in the group in front was also making a lot of birdies. So I think I tried to stay really patient out there, not get carried away on what everybody else was doing, and just focus on my game, trying to make the lowest score I can. And I think that helped me to just really dial it in and just kind of stay in the present, which I think is really important, especially when other players are playing well. And I'm not making many birdies, but to kind of finish off with a few birdies in my last few holes was nice. And I think holding that putt on 15 was kind of the momentum shifter for me. That wasn't the easiest putt. I think I kept turning more and more right because it looked like it was a swinging putt, and it ended up being the perfect read for the speed.
Can you take us through that putt on 15? I know on the Golf Channel they said that she looked, as the putt came off the face of the club, that you might have seriously misjudged it, but obviously they were wrong. You were right. Take us through what you saw and how you snuck it in at the last minute.
I normally line up my ball to where I want to start it, and I lined it up, and then I set up to it, and I was like, I think this is still too low, and I had already aimed quite a few feet out, and Derek had a point that was a few feet right of the hole, and I said, okay, I think this is going to be pretty quick. The greens were much quicker today than the last few days, so I just kept aiming more and more right, and I said, hey, at the end of the day, I just got to have the right speed. And I don't think I obviously wanted to hole it, but it didn't really have a high probability of me holding it, so it ended up being perfect. And sometimes I get frustrated because I end up trusting my feel over the ball, but in that case that feel helped me out on that hole.
With the win, you collect a $300,000 winner's check and move to $12,668,796 earned in your career. I know it's not all about the money for you, but when you pass Sayri Pak on the all-time LPGA earnings list, and money does have that kind of exemplary understanding of success, what does it mean to pass someone like her on your way to win?
I think as players now, playing on the LPGA, I think we're very fortunate about the money we get to play for week in, week out. I know that probably during the times that she played and, even the generations before, it was nothing like this. Yes, I still feel like, there's still a long way to go, and with everybody involved with the LPGA and the commissioner, I believe that the women's game is going to keep growing and growing. And if it's the future generations that are getting to be able to pay for some of these big purses, I think it's great. And when we're out there playing, I'm trying to make as many birdies as I can and shoot the lowest score I can. And money is kind of a bonus. I think sometimes you look and see like an amount next to your name and you're like, oh, that was a good week for that, and I think, yes, we are very fortunate to be able to kind of play for this, and it is a great week at the office. But I think, that's something I try and not think about too much, but definitely a huge honor. And I think we're very grateful for the opportunities we have to be able to play these amazing golf courses and great tournaments, for those kind of purses. And I know our major championships are continue to grow. And I hope that all our events keep going like that with some of our amazing partners that we have with the LPGA.
One more from me before we open it up for questions. If you're on Zoom and you have a question, comment in the chat. I'll call on you to ask it. Lydia, you jump into a tie for 32nd on the LPGA career wins list with 17 titles and joined Dottie Pepper, Ayako, Okamoto, and Beverly Hansen. You also reached 21 points in the chase to 27 for the LPGA Hall of Fame. Is there any pressure that comes along with each advanced point to that 27 march?
My mom did ask me, Jerry asked me earlier in my interview, and my mom asked me earlier this week, and so did my sister, hey, what if you're, about to retire, but you're, 1 point away, and, would you retire, or would I continue to play? I mean, I don't know. It would have to totally be a decision that I'd have to make at that point. And to be in the Hall of Fame, not many people have their names and be said that they're a Hall of Famer, and to have my name alongside some of the legends, it would be a huge honor, and it is, one of my goals. But I still got a long way to go, and people may think, hey, you're just 1 point away, that's one normal event win, and then you're there, and it's not easy to do that. It's not easy to win. It's not easy to have a top 10. I'm playing alongside the best female golfers and some of the best athletes in the world. And to kind of keep putting yourself in condition and in positions like that, I don't think it's easy. Sometimes, Jin Young and Nelly made it look very easy last year. But, I just got to keep playing, my golf, focus on my goals. And if I have the opportunity to be in the Hall of Fame, that would be really cool.
Jeff?
Lydia, a two-parter. Derek was saying he was not nervous on either one of your bunker shots on 18. Were you? And secondly, what's the sense of satisfaction you have in rebuilding your confidence the way you have?
Today I was able to get up and down on, I think, the other 2 times I'd been in a greenside bunker, and because of that, I think that made that shot a lot easier, and I had really good lies on all 3 of them, and even though I was kind of short-sighted on a couple, it kind of allowed me to be a little bit more aggressive with, how far up I wanted to pitch the shot. And for the fairway bunker shots, that's one of my drills I do with Sean, and he says sometimes it's better for me to hit more balls there than on the range. So after doing that as a drill, I think that has helped with the confidence in the fairway bunkers to say, hey, not get too worried about my contact. Obviously, that's really dependent on the lie also, but I think with Sean getting me to practice that more, I think the more times you put yourself in that position, you're going to be a bit more comfortable with that. So I was hoping that second shot would reach the green. I was kind of gutted that it didn't, but it was still a good shot. And, that bunker shot, I was kind of hoping it'd be a little closer. I think it was like a 2-footer, but, the closer the better. But, I'd take it, and under the circumstances, I knew that no matter what, Danielle if she was going to make birdie or par, I just wanted to go in there and make my up and down and see where that would put me at the end of it.
Yeah, and then just rebuilding your confidence. What's the self-satisfaction? And a lot of golfers experience dips and don't get back. What's your satisfaction in getting back?
I feel like there are, parts of my game that still can improve. I set out two of my biggest goals were to have a higher green in regulation percentage and higher fairways hit percentage this year. And I feel like if those parts are better, then the scores are going to kind of come with that. So, and I think that puts a lot of less stress on the short game. So I think that was probably my biggest focus. And to be honest, going into the tournament last week, I didn't feel super ready. My long game didn't feel very sharp, but no, I tried to. Sean always tells me to trust my training, and that's what I tried to tell myself today. And I saw a quote that John Rahms said last week, or maybe early this week, and he said, "It's not like about how many times you hit the fairway, like golf at the end. You have to try and play the best score you can and in the circumstances." And I think that kind of hit me to say sometimes I think you get too carried away about oh, it's in the fairway or this, but you're just trying to scramble if you are out of position and try and manage your way around with how you're playing and not try and hit it and do everything perfectly. That is something that happens on PlayStation. I still don't play perfectly on PlayStation, but I think his quote really helped me to realize that it's golf. Sometimes I'm going to hit great shots, sometimes I'm going to hit not so pretty ones, and I just have to manage my way around there and try and shoot the best score I can. And today I don't feel like I had my A game, but I was able to kind of make up and down when I was out of position, and then just not get too down when I did make mistakes.
Tom?
Hi, Lydia. Congratulations. You talked a little bit about that dip. I'm wondering if having such historic success at such a young age, did you ever have to fight off that this is easy? And did that ever kind of contribute to, the little dip in the career and now appreciating the way up again?
I don't think it was ever easy. I've heard people say, "Oh my gosh, you make it look easy," and I was like, "Trust me, it's not easy." And I think when someone is playing so well, like I said earlier, like Nelly or Jin Young last year, they make it look very easy, but you know what? They're putting their 100% energy and they're still playing amazing golf, and I think it almost doesn't get as much credit as it should. I feel very fortunate about the things that happened earlier in my career, and when I wasn't playing as well, I think I wanted to try and be the person that I was and try and be put myself back to when I was number one. But Stacey Lewis a few years ago, she said, "Hey, you can't try and be like your past. You're trying to be the best player, the best person you can be now." And I think hearing that advice from somebody like her, that really helped me to have the confidence and to just believe in the process, and that sometimes you're gonna take 2 steps back, but you just keep working and working, and you're just trying to be the best. I'm just trying to be the best version I can be today.
Thank you.
We'll go on to Zoom. Keely Levins, if you can unmute Keely.
Hey, Lydia, congratulations. I wanted to ask a little bit more about that John Rahm quote. I'm curious as to why that resonated with you so much. Is he someone that you really look up to, or was it just kind of the right quote at the right time?
Yeah, it's just I came across that quote on Instagram, and I don't know exactly who posted. Maybe it was the PGA. I'm not really sure, but I would say the part of my game that when I was struggling was probably the long game, and I feel like now it is so much better and it is more consistent. But I think sometimes I get carried away about, oh, I missed one this fairway, or I missed this green, and it's not about trying to get a perfect score. I don't think you can get a perfect score. In bowling, you can, but in golf, unless I hold out on every par 3 and hold out, for 2 on every par 4, there is no perfect. And I think sometimes I try and become too much of a perfectionist, and to kind of hear that, I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm just trying to play golf, and I'm not trying to control everything out there.
That makes sense. I'm curious as to what you were up to in the off season. Did you take some time off, or were you working on something in your swing?
I took some time off, over the holidays. I stayed stateside. Normally I do go back to Korea, but I stayed stateside, which was nice to not do a lot of traveling. I went and played Capellet again, which I had a lot of great memories, from the 2021 Lotte Championship. And yeah, it was a pretty chill kind of off season. But I think when I was working, it was pretty busy because I put a few new clubs in the bag. So I was trying to get adjusted to numbers and see if that club actually is good for me. So it was a lot of like club testing and also working the last couple of weeks a lot with Sean and pretty much doing the same fields as what we've been working on, but getting more consistent with that and making sure that my old habits aren't creeping in. So yeah, it was busy when I was working, but also I took a lot of time off, which is nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Keely. Alexander, if you can unmute.
Hi, Lydia. I just wanted to just ask you a couple quick questions. The win at the 2021 Lotte Championship seemed to act as a bit of a springboard for you. What was it at that event that changed that really seemed to make you propel to what you've been doing ever since?
I started off my 2021 season really well. I came tied second at the Gainbridge, I think. Is I second? Yeah, at the Gainbridge, at Lake Nona, and then I had a top 10 the week after, and I played average at Kia, and then I had a great final round at the ANA, which is now the Chevron, to put myself in second there. And I think I had a lot of good momentum, and that final round at the Chevron helped me, I think, with just playing freely, playing confidently, and I just had a lot of fun out there in Hawaii. When I go to Hawaii, normally I was just so focused on the tournament and just trying to get my practice done. But like last year was the first time where I went on hikes, went to the beach, and I kind of enjoyed Hawaii, and I just enjoyed that week in general. And I think that kind of took my mind off a little bit of getting too result orientated, and winning there definitely, I think, proved it to myself that, hey, I can be back in the winner's circle. And I think sometimes it's that little thing, and it's about, putting that belief in myself. And, no matter if everybody else is saying, hey, you can do this, like, just stay patient. If you don't believe in that, then I don't think it's, like, that all matters. So for me to win there, I think was, like, it was proof to myself. And I think that's why it was such an important week for me.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Roxanne, if you can unmute.
Oh, hi, Lydia. It's Roxanne, the editor of Ladies Golf Magazine. I interviewed you recently. How are you in Australia?
Yes, how are you?
Good. Congratulations. We've picked a winner for our cover star.
Good timing.
It is, and we had Danielle as our last cover star as well, and she won the first event. I just want you to sum up in 3 words the emotions you're feeling right now.
3 words. Excited. Cocktail. Sleep. I could do with sleep right now. Yeah. I had a cocktail. That's why I said cocktail. Yeah. I feel like my cheeks are getting red too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roxanne. Lydia, last one I have for you, and we'll let you out of here. I know it's early in the season, and there's a long way to go, but how much does a win set up for the rest of the year at this point of the season?
Yeah, this is probably the earliest I've won in a season.
First LPGA win in January.
Yeah, Huh?
Yeah.
I won in January?
Your first LPGA win in January.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I was like, I won in January? When was that? Yeah, so this is like being my second event and winning it. Definitely is a good momentum going into the rest of the year. Like you said, it's still a long way to go. I still have 20-something more events to play. But yeah, starting off the season at my home club at Lake Nona was definitely a nice way to kind of cruise into 2022. And I'm not playing next week, so I get a few weeks off, and I really wanted to take that time to kind of work on my game and get adjusted to my clubs. And this is one of my favorite swings, you know, the Asia swing and the West Coast swing. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, it's if somebody asked me, hey, do you think you're going to win this week? I'm not really sure if I would have said yes, because there were some shots that I hit and I was like, wow, that is ugly. So, you know, to be able to have a top 10 last week and then win this week, it makes it extra special. And I think it also motivates me to work harder. And I'll be back in the gym with my trainer tomorrow and see my coach on Tuesday.
Love it. One more.
So Lydia, were you watching Danielle's putt on 18, and if you were, what were you thinking when she hit that?
You know what? I felt like she was gonna hole it. She's been putting. She putted so good today. I feel like the ones that even didn't go in had, you know, a high chance of her making it. And you know, I think at that point when somebody's putting such a good roll on it and reading the green so well, I think I just had to expect that she was going to hole it, and that's why I knew that I need to, make it up and down at worst. Or if I could hole it, that would be great. But yeah, you know, I was looking at it, but I don't think when any player is out there, you're willing, like the other players putt to not go in. I think you're willing it to go in, and you're just trying to play the best golf I can. I said, you know, I'm just trying to, if I play good golf and somebody plays better than me, then you know, it's all credits to that person. So yeah, I think I was willing it in. Obviously, you know, with it not going in, it gave me a chance to not go in the playoff, which makes it a little less, you know, stressful.
Yeah, no, it looked good for a long time.
Yes, yeah, it was a great putt.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Lydia.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.